So then, so this is the junction 11 of the A42 where the incident took place at Measham. So I just want to show you this. So that it's a dual carriageway with a barrier in between, and it bends all the way around here, and here's the junction. It never said the junction was closed, it said one lane was closed. They've got to give you notice that there's a closure of a junction when a junction's closed, because, you know, there are many layouts, some of which you have a lane closed and a junction still open, or you can have a junction closed, or you can have the junction and the lane closed, but it never said that the junction was closed on the legend signs or any of the signs, which is why I was curious. And I wanted to get evidence of not giving the correct signage. So we were all literally I was in single file, so the inside lane was closed, and I was coming on here in single file, and we were all spaced out evenly and just going literally in a uniform manner, right? I don't know why this is illuminated at the moment. And then here is the junction. So this is two lanes here. I don't know if you can see this pointer actually. This is two lanes, and then it branches off up the junction. I don't know if you can click something to. Right, so as you can see here, so we've got grass comes up to a point here, and then so after the grass you can see these kind of like sort of they're worn off, the arrow shaped. In fact, these aren't even complete, these arrows, they're not lawfully placed because they're all worn off. And this photograph was taken some time ago, so this junction wasn't even lawfully signed because some of the warning arrows are coming off, which aren't enforceable here. So these bright, you know, these white arrows go on for quite some time. I mean, that's quite a distance there, and then the grass starts at a point. So that's the bit where you really don't want to drive onto, but there's a lot of space. Now, if we zoom in more now, you can see that HGV there. And that these heavy goods vehicles are very, very long. They're a lot longer than the van or a car. And there's another HGV. This one's actually a bit shorter. But you can see this HGV here. Can you see how long that HGV is in all these white lines? You can actually drive over these white lines. There's nothing, you're not supposed to, but it's not unsafe, and they've got grip on them anyway. And the fact is, they're not actually enforceable. These are worn off. So those warning signs aren't even enforceable. And you can see the white lines on this side of the road. There's quite a lot of wear there actually on them compared to the other side, isn't there? But the space in between them is very, very wide. You can see a car there. So this distance is very, very great. It's many, many HGVs. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 HGVs long, right? Which in the picture it doesn't look anything like that in the photograph they took the angle from because of the truncated view, right? And then here the area of concern is around where it says where actually sort of where the number 11 is. I think you can just see the number 11. I don't know if you can see this arrow pointer, if the screen recorder records the arrow pointer or not. So you can see HGV here. Now, for measuring length, you know, so here is, we've got two lanes, so here is where the slip road actually begins and starts to branch off, just where the head of this arrow is. So it's once the lane starts, the area of concern is actually between where these two HGVs are. It's where the number actually 11 is. Now in the photograph, which I've shown you in the other video, which you can compare to, you can see this mesh thing starting, but it makes it look like there's just mesh there and it goes up the slip roads. You don't get any idea of the amount of distance that this is, and that you can actually drive on that without any problem, particularly at the speed they're saying, you know. Now here are the arrows here where this grass verge starts, where you really don't want to drive into or on that. But as for the rest of it, it's you've got multiple HGVs worth of distance. Yet on the photograph with the front point of view, it makes it look like it's only like a car long, right? But it's 7 HGVs long. Now, here, it's true that these lines in the middle of the road here are a lot closer together and shorter. They're very, very, very short ones. But still, the distance in the photograph we see where the workman is, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, then the vehicle. So like if we count, and then there's some at the other side of the vehicle, but we can't see because the vehicle's in the way. At least the same number, at least 4 of them, and then the vehicle's on one, so that's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's at least 9 or 10. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here, right? And it's actually where these trees end. Can you see, like, right in the middle of the picture, the verge that is right up the middle of the screen, and then there's some trees, and then it stops and it's just grass? That's about where they are, because these guys here are actually, these are the trees. These are the trees and bushes. And it's actually a verge bank as well. It goes up, it slopes upwards. It's not just trees, it's actually a virgin bank, right? So it's after here. So if we're just in the shop from here and we count 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, so then we're going to say the vehicle is somewhere around here. But then, correctly, there's another number of them on the other side, which is still at least as long as a few cars. So I definitely had the space to get through there. Now this is the thing. The cones, though, were where these white lines have faded off for the dual carriageway part, right? That's where the cones were. So I actually had the entire length of this whole section here, which I could drive through safely without being near any workers at all. In fact, the length of this is multiple HGVs, right? It's like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's at least 6 or 7 HGVs. So why would I come off early here? Why would I come off through the cones and straight in between two vehicles, which were actually spaced out quite far apart? In fact, one of them was actually up where these lines were, really, really far away, which is not dangerous at all, because one of them actually was around where this truck was, one of their vehicles, and if their other vehicle, actually you can see it's actually in line at the side of where those lines are. So the vehicle was here, and then the other vehicle was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back down here. So the two vehicles were spaced out so far apart that they were nowhere near each other. even if I did drive between them both, it's not. It's very deceptive. Is the photograph, right? And you can see this. You can see. I'm actually quite up here. I'm around this point here. So I mean, when this is completely clear, you know. You can ride over it and drive over it. It's actually got grip on it, this stuff. And when they're saying the road was roughed up or whatever, which I don't think it was nothing on the road. And also, I mean, there's definitely no evidence of anything. You'd have thought that if they'd have cleaned the road with some sort of chemical, which they're claiming, that they would have actually put the lines on brighter as well. Or done something to them and at least fix this as well here. But clearly, evidently not. The distance is just so long distance that the idea that I would even attempt to go near any people walking or even think of it is just preposterous. It was way after where they were, and you know, you've got multiple trucks length, and as it came out of their mouths, they said that when I went between the cones, when I timed it to pull out and then brake after I've pulled out of the traffic formation, it was about, they were saying 20 mile an hour. So with 20 mile an hour, with a length from distance of 8 trucks, so it just, the distances and their photograph is. It ends up looking like a lot of the police video footage. And the thing with that police video footage is that it's very, very deceptive in sense of distance. It's got this called a truncation viewpoint. And I could play some of the videos, actually. I could probably upload them again on this channel because I don't on the other one. It just makes all of the distances look completely different. And they convict a lot of people on that evidence, and it's very deceptive when people are watching it and looking at it. And then Steve Callahan even gave false evidence about the size of a beam that's a doorknob handle size, that it's like, a few feet to a metre wide, which is complete false evidence. It's just, the crimes of these people in a court situation is ridiculous, you know? So, this is it. I mean, so they're saying that I didn't wait till after and use this entire, 6 trucks length to come over onto the slip road and stop, which, is just a preposterous idea. In fact, there's something there, but I don't think that we can't actually, in the photograph we've got with us, we can't see that. I think I'll drop the little, we'll drop the little, has it gone onto the right side, or is it the other? I think I want to be on the other side. See, this is it. There's nothing stopping you driving on that. It's at the other side there. Can you see it? It's just road, and there's like a white truck with a caravan or something on the back. So there's where you don't want to drive on. You really don't want to drive. You don't want to drive into this barrier where that cone is there. You don't want to drive on that grass there. So there's some truck there now saying foul at Welsh. I don't know if we wouldn't need that truck to. Shouldn't that truck be out of the way so we can see? Kind of like on the photograph, isn't it? What's the 2 cars going there? So, here we go. That's better. So look, we really don't want to drive on that there because you can't, because there's a barrier there and a cone. But we've got all this space here, and this is not even enforceable. In this condition here, this is not even enforceable. So the judge couldn't say that I couldn't drive over that because it's not even enforceable when it's worn off. But that's the whole distance we've got to drive over it, which is actually, if you look on the map from above, it's quite a few HGV long, this. Very, 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 very long. In fact, it starts here, there we go, and all the way up there, which that's a long way. So why wouldn't I drive over there and then come to a stop? And where that other vehicle, one vehicle was there, because you can see the vehicle is in line with these stripes. So one vehicle was here on the inside, and then I've got all this distance to go over, which is not even fully, and then, so this is kind of the area of where they are in the picture. Now, that's not even complete, that's like, that looks like 2, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is what was hidden at the other side of the vehicle, and all that. And one of their vehicles was around where that white thing is there, by that white bit of litter or whatever, by the grass. And then the other one was 5, so it was around here, actually, more or less where that truck is. Actually, just a bit, so here. So one was here, and the other one was up there. And I actually went, if you can see like this, I went like that. That's what I did. I went like that. And it was completely, there was no, because everyone was in, where here, everyone was in this lane here. So there was nothing in that lane there. Nothing at all in that lane, because that was coned off. The cones were here. We were all going down here in single file, spaced out. So there was a vehicle around here, and we couldn't see the other side of it in the photograph they gave. So they had one vehicle sort of here, right? And we're all here. And then their other vehicle was about there, right? So I come down here, and then wait, and then go between the cones, and then brake, and then come actually where this up here. And if you've seen the distance of that there, there's from above that there's like, you know, 6 or 7 HGV in length there. It looks even shorter from here. We'll go back to that in a minute. So, and this is just, you see where the trees start, because, well, there is some bushes actually, like I said, a verge, and then it gradually gets bushy, which is where their photo is taken. The photo's taken from somewhere around here. Obviously, these trees are bushier. And they're saying that there was all these but he said it were burned. You know, it said there was a fire or something. And all the road was knackered and rough, which, you know, I've never seen that before. I don't know what's going on with that tar there. But you see, there's no evidence of burning on there, and it's what that rough stuff is light and not darker, and there's no shading in it or texture or anything like that either. And then where the white lines are, where the white lines are, is, it could have been taken here, the photograph actually. There is some sort of line actually there. But it looks more like a crack. It doesn't look like the surface has been treated. But then again, where that line is, there's some metal thing there. And we can't actually see that metal thing in the photograph. It's almost like where he's walking, where his leg is, but I don't think that that's there at all in the photo. Don't know what's going on with that line. And in fact, if anything, that surface is the same as this surface here, and that surface before is different. If any of this could have been changed at all, it would be here before, not after. What's going on way back here? That looks very, very odd. But you can see where this is, around the edges of it, there's all texture. It's definitely not lighter, it's darker. I've been driving for a long time, my whole life, and I've never seen a light-coloured chemical that they put on a motorway to clean it if there's a fire, ever. Never once. And in fact, where the white lines are in the road, it's darker on there. It's actually darker, so it's making it like a lighter chemical, but it's actually making the white lines go darker, not lighter, making the road go lighter. but the light, it doesn't make sense. To me, I think it's Photoshop because there wasn't anything wrong with it. And whatever, this doesn't look like it said if they were fixing the road after a fire, they hadn't done anything to it. I mean, look at this. Let's see if we can. We want to go to like 19 or something, don't we? 15, 10, 12, 14, 15, 22, 21, 17. Where there's some missing. 10, 12, 14, 2010, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Where's some of the... Well, that was there before. There's a crack there before. So that wasn't anything to do with them. Some sort of line there, and that's definitely nothing to do with those guys. And there we have it again. The crack. And now there's something in the way we can't see. So it doesn't actually make sense. I can't see it there, 14, 15. So this crack is there. And there, 2017. And it's still there, 2021. Now, there looks like there's some lighter coloured stuff in there, like some chalky sort of stuff. But it goes in between cracks. It doesn't go on the surface at all. And I don't see, if that chemical goes in between the cracks, on this photograph that they've taken, there's definitely not going in between the cracks on there. It would have been right in between the cracks. And it's lighter. And in fact, if this is some chemical thing here, it's actually the same lightness as the lines. Whereas on there, whatever they've put on there, on the road, where they've put it, it goes over the lines, it's darker. So it doesn't make sense. And people are getting convicted on this evidence and testimony in courts. Very serious. Some people go to prison for various things. Now, here. So you can see how long this is. Look at that. That's a heavy goods vehicle there. That is a HGV, right? And here's a car. So look at the distance here you've got to go over here. You've got all the distance and time you want, which is completely clear. Like, you know, and we're on this side, this lane, in the middle here, this lane here is completely and totally empty, remember. Everyone's in this lane here, and we're all going in the same direction in very evenly spaced out fashion. So to go over this, and then drive up here and stop. Actually, so we've got, so this is, all these lines here are worn off. So 2022, this is 2022, still haven't fixed those either. You'd have thought if there was an incident, you know, when somebody got done for dangerous driving at a junction like this, when they're claiming it was so dangerous, why didn't they fix these? Why didn't they repaint these? You know? 2022. '17. Oh, something happened. 2011. They actually, 2011. They were actually different. They're very, very narrow, but they're still kind of worn off. We've got some more dates here. 2011, 12, 14. So in 2013 they get redone, but they're already wearing off. So by 2012 they changed them between 2012 and 2014, but they're already wearing off. What is this doing? I don't know how that's worn off if no one's supposed to drive on it. In fact, there's quite... If these are new, it looks like a shabby job, doesn't it? Look at that. Why are the little ones wearing off? 15, and then by 2017, let's go on to 21, just a minute, 17. They're worn, they are definitely worn off there. Don't know how they're getting worn off. Those little ones seem to be wearing off more. There's quite a lot of looks like a lot of people have been driving on it, to be honest, doesn't it? There's loads and loads and loads of tyre marks all over it. Quite a lot of tyre marks. Even more worn off. 17, 18, 19, no, it goes 17 to 21. So we're missing 17, 18, 19, 20. So we're missing 3 years. I think it was 2019. We haven't got 2019. You can have 17 or 19, 21. 2017 or 2020. Look, there's loads of wear on there. But look at this. This is a heavy goods vehicle. Look how long it is. And then here we are. Look, all this space, and then right over there. Right? Why wouldn't I drive? So you think that I would? You think that I'd choose to come off before, right, and go between some vehicles and guys when it's completely empty? There's no one there, and there's all this distance here. You know, and that's not even lawfully enforceable with it, paint coming off. And then I don't know, you know, the whole chemical ridiculousness of the surface. There's nothing wrong with the surface at all whatsoever. And then there's all this. What's going on with this line here? What is that tyre mark? There's like an old tyre there. There's something really weird going on with this line. It's just a crack. It's some sort of crack in the road. And that was there before and after. Why would they put the chemical up to a line? On their evidence photo, they've made it look rough and chemical up to there. But it's the same before and after. That has got nothing to do whatsoever. They could have cut some of these trees down, actually. There could be some trees cut down. It's likely that the photograph was about here, actually. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, right? And then a vehicle. But then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those. and then one of their vehicles was right up there, and then the other one was here. So, you know, who would do it? Why would you do that? You wouldn't do it. It makes no sense. Who would do it? Which is the route you go, is like this. Right? And you've got all look at all this here. I mean, there's loads of people been driving on there anyway, and evidence of it. I mean, look at this. It's actually, this stuff's meant to have grip on it as well, and it's not even enforceable. So, and it's nowhere near where that barrier thing is. And remember, everyone's going in single file traffic as well. It's just to put a long story short. They gave false statements. They lied. They gave false evidence. That's a criminal offence. And they falsified evidence. That is not what the road was like. They photoshopped it, because it's got arrows drawn on it anyway. They've had it in Photoshop to put the arrows on. So they falsified evidence and gave false statements. That's crime. And I was investigating them because there was no notice given or no signage of a junction closure, only a lane closure. So that's it. This is here. This is where I came, here, not where they said. And then the distance is so long and spaced out that those photographs are so deceptive. And I mean, I should show you some of the video footage of some of the cameras. It just makes everything look so weird. These lenses they use.